So in this video, I'm going to be talking about Grok Bot. So Grok Bot has just recently been launched. So if you look at what Grok Bot is here, say it's your team of always on. So they have their own computer. They work inside tools and apps like you do. They work inside tools using their own computer and keep working 24/7. So we're going to be testing it out and see. So you could try it out for free, but beside trying out for free, the pricing is kind of like, okay, this is like the Grok pricing itself. But I think to be able to use it, you need to pay like $200 for the ultra plan. So you see a computer of its own. So I think the sentence here just captured everything that you could do with the Grok bot. So we are going to be trying it out and see how it works. So if you want to download it, depending on your operating systems, you just need to click here and download, and that's it. Nothing so fancy about it. And then you start creating your bot. So if you wait till the end of this video, I'm going to be showing you, telling you what I feel about it, because I'm actually using like solutions like Gwenpa, which is my favorite. So if you watch my last video, you discover that I actually set up this system uh, called Manager that connects to your email and your calendar. So it will soon make sense to you what's the difference between using something like Grokbot and using like an open source solution such as Gwenpa or Hem. So this is how the interface for Grokbot looks like. So here you're able to create what they call agent. So if I click on this search, teacher here is nothing but an agent. So you have like messages, you have group, you have files, you have links. These are links that it has checked. And then you have like routines. So routines are basically like cron jobs or schedule jobs that run all the time. Then you have like action. That's some of the actions. So here, all you need to do is to create a bot. So you just create a bot here and give the bot a name. So I could create a new bot, and then all you need to do, you see, is reading some file. So as you can see here, you say, "Hey Eric, fresh start on my site." So I'm figuring it out how to actually be useful. What do you want me around for? So you kind of like work coding, research and writing, reminders and follow up. So we could, for example, I could just choose work, or just for, let's say, let's put code in here, and we just, this is basically like what you do to configure the agent kind of. So you could see even when I created this one, it kind of like asked me that, "Hey Eric, what do you want me for?" I just said, "You will teach me Golang and the entire stack." So I gave it a stack, and you see it starts spitting up a lot of Golang here for me. So basically, now you see, good, got it, coding. Next useful thing is where the work actually lives. You see, GitHub, I say on my computer. So the work will live on my computer. So basically, if you look at the UI when I showed you when we downloaded Grokbot, you will see something very spectacular. It has a computer. So your agent has this computer. So let's go into the computer. This is your computer. So I'm opening the computer view now. And then when you perform, you can click here to say teach a task. So basically, as you work on the computer, Grokbot will learn to be able to do exactly what you're doing with your computer, so that next time it does it for you. So you see the computer has a terminal. So you see you have a terminal. You also have like a file system here. So there's a file system also here where you could see your files. So you see here, this is the files. Then you also have like your browser as well. Browse, click here and you could see your browser. This is the computer that is attached. For example, open a page also. So you could see here, I'm just searching for a random thing in the computer. So it comes with this computer. Look, it's asking me to do this. I could do it. So just have it in your mind that it comes with the computer. Also, what you also discover here, it has this thing called a routine, which is similar to, if you've been using like Gwempa, this is similar to what you call it a cron job. So you just click here and you define what you want it to do, and then you add a trigger. So what kind of trigger? Maybe it's going to be on schedule every hour, or it's going to be based on when you receive a message from Slack or a JIT event or whatever thing you want to do. So this is how you create routines. So beside that, there's something called plugins. So plugins is actually like, if you're using like Gwempa, this is similar to you connecting like MCP server. So this is the marketplace. You could connect to like Gmail. You could add, look, so it's actually telling you that these are MCP servers. So you could connect to a whole lot of stuff. See, Zoom, at least they provide you like Google Drive, Google Calendar, and most of these things. So yours, that means you could also install your own plugins as well. So which could be similar to having MCP servers. So, and then your agent could actually use them. So you could actually build agents that even talk to each other. So you could see here, got it. Coding next is routines is where the work actually lives. So I said on my computer, cool, local, drop a file, a folder part, or just tell me what is broken and I will go there and fix it. So here I already had an agent where I was actually learning how to use Golang. So I told it here to create a table of context. Here created this and it's asking me where to start. And it's saying, so I told it also to get me some news about the frameworks it want to start. So this was just a test, and I think it's pretty good. So now the final part where I'm going to tell you my take on this. So this is just to show you an overview of what the Grok bot actually. So I'm going to be switching and showing you what I use correct. So what do I actually think about Grok bot? So if you're using Grok bot, it's actually good because you don't have to stress yourself. For example, when I was configuring, if you're configuring an MCP server to connect to Google Calendar here, you have to do a lot. For example, you have to put this. So for somebody who is not who doesn't have this kind of computer inclination, this might be an overkill and might be very difficult for you to set up things like this for yourself. So you see here you also have cron jobs, like just like you have routines, and then you have channels. Channels are basically you could connect to multiple sources, and you have like skill pools. You have a lot. So there you are stick to kind of like the X models, but here you could get a lot out of the box because you could select and even use local models freely. So you could see what is actually happening here. So you don't really need to be tied to a particular provider. See, you could switch from OpenAI to OpenCode to Mimo, whatever provider. And you could also use like free models. So this gives you a lot of flexibility. It even has extensibility built into it. So you could create your own plugins into the system and extend it to your test. So will I say will I use Grogbot? Uh, I feel it's not bad for someone who want ease and who doesn't actually want, because at the end of the day, even though you end up using something like Gwempa, you have to actually pay for subscription. And if you want to use it the way you're going to use the Grogbot, definitely you need a plan of, like, for example, I run a plan of around close to 70 something dollars here for, and then for Mimo it's like $50. So I'm paying close to, let's say, 100 and something dollars to have this thing running for a whole month. So which is almost equivalent to what you pay if you're using something like the Grogbot. So my take is it's actually a wonderful product. You could give it a try. I think $200 is not too much considering the fact that you might be using it for the entire month, so to do a lot of things. And Grok models have actually been doing very well now, particularly when it comes to coding and a whole lot of things. So you will actually use not just the Grok bot, but you also have access to the Ultra plan, which will enable you do a lot of incredible things for yourself. So my take is worth it. You could give it a try also to see that whether it's something you will want to try. So if you love this kind of content, subscribe to my channel.